We know this market's not been at all friendly to biotech stocks of late, especially the smaller biotechs that are not yet profitable. But some of these drug stocks have come down enough that I think they now represent some interesting values. Take Opko Health. It's a $3.5 billion biopharma company. It's also a developer of diagnostic test equipment. Opko's not some pie-in-the-sky biotech that's years away from having any real products on the market. Nope, the company has two big diagnostic products that are set to launch this year and next. There's 4K Score, a highly accurate laboratory test for prostate cancer, which we just got some very positive data on earlier this week at the American Urological Association meeting. And the company also has Claros One. It's a diagnostic instrument system that provides rapid blood test results, so you can get the test results within minutes while you're still at the doctor's office, rather than having to wait while your blood gets sent off to a lab. Opko's looking at using the system for multiple applications, including testing for vitamin D levels, testosterone, and as a PSA test for prostate cancer. And these, just three, could be worth $364 million in annual sales, and not too far from now, although the system could potentially do a lot more. At the same time, Opko also has a drug business. Right now, the big product candidate here is Rayaldee for the treatment of hypoparathyroidism and vitamin D deficiency in patients with chronic kidney disease. This drug is currently in phase 3 clinical trials and might be worth $720 million in annual sales by 2020. Company's also developing a human growth hormone therapy, and they're going to get royalties on Rolapitant, a drug for chemotherapy-induced nausea that's expected to launch next year. Now, the stock's already given me a 70% gain since we last spoke to the CEO in October of 2011. But put it all together, and I think Opko, which currently trades at $8.55, could be worth a lot more. Don't take it from me. Let's check in with Dr. Philip Frost, the chairman and CEO of Opko Health, find out more about his company and its prospects. Hey, Dr. Frost, welcome back to Mad Money.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
All right, doctor, we always hear about the high cost of medical to the system, how much the test costs, how there's a lot of needless surgery. You've got not one but two ideas, two products that could be approved very shortly. How much would they save the system?
Well, let's start with the 4K score that you just mentioned. In terms of saving the system money, it will avoid performing 40 to 50% of the prostate biopsies that are now done at an average cost of $1,500 to more than $2,000, and that's if there are no complications. Infection and other complications require hospitalization frequently, and the cost can go up to $5,000, $6,000 or more. So the cost in the United States alone, by performing our test as a confirmatory test to an elevated PSA, which we all know is fairly inaccurate, could be in the billions of dollars. The other test that you alluded to, the card I have here, I've shown this once before, is a system that will be in the physician's office. And in the physician's office, the patient will give a drop of blood from his finger, and the physician will have the results of the test in 10 minutes. So you save all the time and effort and expense of shipping a blood sample to the lab and calling and getting the results, and you're able to offer therapy immediately in the office. So that's very valuable. And by the way, we hope to have the 4K score eventually on that card, which we think will be an important advance.
Well, these things make so much common sense, and all your career has been filled with common sense compounds, that I wonder if there aren't some sort of business imperatives away from your common sense that are somehow getting in the way and blocking your procedures that make so much sense to me.
No, I don't think so. I think that we're moving on target. And by the way, along those lines, in terms of common sense, this morning we announced the finalization of a tiny acquisition that we announced previously, and they have a product that I can show to you. It's this. This looks a lot like the automatic inhalers that are available now for treating asthma and COPD. But they all have a problem. The problem is that you have to inhale with some force. For the COPD patients, that's a problem. The other problem is that it's very important that the particle size be just right. So if it comes out too fast, it goes against the back of the throat. If it's too slow, it winds up in the mouth. We have this device that comes from Israel, a very clever scientific laboratory there, that it powers the emission. You put a capsule with the active in it. This is for dry powder, and you turn it around, ready to inhale. You inhale it, and it forces the powder out in just the right way, the right strength, so it goes into the lungs, even to the small cavities in the lungs, and that's what everybody wants. It also has a nice feature. It has a little slide at the bottom that you can attach to any sort of iPhone or other device as often as you want, once a month, and that will tell you every time the date of every inhalation and whether the inhalation was performed successfully or not. In terms of compliance, which is a big problem with medicine and results in spending a lot more than is necessary because patients find it difficult to comply, this little simple device will go a long way, we think.
All right, well, I think that people have to understand, and I've followed your work for many years, that you have that product. What's the process that we'll be using that? I mean, you just bought it. Will this be, are you trying to get this to be approved? I mean, where is it in the system?
This will be useful for existing drugs to make them perform better by delivering it in a better way. But we also have a new molecule in Opko, a new drug to treat asthma and COPD. We haven't talked about it much, but it's in a new class of compounds. It seems to be very effective and very, very safe. And of course, we're going to want to put that into this device.
Okay, now, Doctor, one of the reasons why I have been such a big believer in you is that you're a big believer in yourself. I see just recently another $626,000 worth of Opko you've bought. You have been in the market. I have to believe that that's because you think that all of these things as a piece make it so your company is undervalued because no one buys stock because they think it's going to go down.
Exactly. I don't want to say that it's undervalued because I don't want to be promoting it, but all I can tell you is that I'm very pleased with my investments.
Well, that's all it takes, because I know that I've made a lot of money following you, and I know our viewers have too. And I just applaud you for all the things you're trying to do for the system and for the patient. Thank you so much, Dr. Philip Frost, Chairman and CEO of Opko Health.
My pleasure.
All right, guys, this is one where I want you to know what the company does. Take a look at these different products. Take a look at what he just talked about in terms of that device before you get in, because there's too many people who just bought this stock and expect it to go up tomorrow because the doctor's been buying so much stock. Understand the story. Get comfortable with it. Dr. Philip Frost, Chairman and CEO of Opko Health.